Hello, hello. Well, that was amazing. We just went to there was a seeing the stars. I can't remember what the name of it was, but anyway, so we all gathered and there was a star guy who taught us. He took us up on the roof, and there are these three big telescopes up there. I think there's a 16-inch and I don't know, there were three of them. And he showed us the different stars through them. So we saw Betelgeuse, which is Orion's shoulder, and Rigel, which is Orion's knee. And he showed us the moon, and you could see all these craters on the moon. It was amazing. I think I'll use the picture. He took a photograph of the moon for us with our own cameras. I'm going to use that picture for the picture on this video when I get it up, or after I finish. And we saw Mars through the telescope, and we saw, what's it called, Eninga or something? I don't know what it is, and you don't usually ever see that. I haven't heard of that one before. And I think that's because it's over Mexico. And so we don't usually, it's usually, too low over the equator for us in North America, or at least here even in Canada. And what else do we see? Oh, and we saw Saturn, and we saw the rings of Saturn. I don't know, maybe I have. My mother worked for the Department of Physics and Astronomy in the University of Georgia, and she would come home all excited that there was going to be some big celestial occurrence that night. And so she would talk about going to the observatory on top of the roof on the physics and astronomy building. Oh, sorry, it's 9 o'clock here, which means it's 2 a.m. at home, but I think I'm pretty well adjusted to this time. I'm not very tired. Maybe we'll go swimming. The pool never closes. But maybe I should go to bed and get up early and go sit and watch the water again. Wasn't that wonderful to watch the water, the ocean? This bump here, it's not a bump, it's a bruise, but it's from in the tram we were taking a tour of a tropical plantation and seeing all the different kinds of things, the coconuts and the banana plants and the mangoes and the avocados and sugar cane. I don't remember what else. Anyway, and I bumped into this thing on the tram. I got out the wrong way, and it said, "Watch your head," but my hat was in the way, and it hit me through my hat. But anyway, I should keep my hat down, then we won't see it. I have my hat on because I think I look better with a hat on. I think it's a very much improvement. I could put it like this, then it would do almost no good for keeping the sun off my face. Anyway, and what else do we see? We saw Mars, the moon, Saturn, Betelgeuse, Rigel, Sirius. Oh, and we saw the Seven Sisters, but there's actually a lot of stars there, about 100 of them. And so when you look at them, there's stars everywhere, which is this whole cluster of the Seven Sisters, which when you look in the sky, you'll see that there's this little group of stars. They're all very close together, but it just kind of looks like a cloudy little group of stars. And it is in Taurus. So there's two stars, which are the ends of the bull's horns, and then there's the Seven Sisters there, and that points toward the next constellation. I can't remember what they were now. I used to know all those things long ago. I have to get out my book and learn it all again. It was very interesting. It was fascinating. And we also saw the moons of Saturn. So you could see the rings, the way the telescope was, it looked like the ring was going that way, but it was only because otherwise we'd have to get up really high to look down in. So if we were going to look from this angle, the way it had to be twisted, it was, anyway. And then there were also these moons, which were in a straight line. And he said it was because the gravity of Jupiter holds the moons over the equator. And so they appear in a straight line when we look at them. But that was really cool. My mother used to be so fascinated by astronomy, and she'd bring home astronomy textbooks all the time, and all these pictures of nebulas and supernovas and whatever. Do you know that Betelgeuse, the star in Orion's shoulder, it's 600 miles away, 600 years to get the light from Betelgeuse here. And Betelgeuse is so big that if it was close to us, it would fill all the space between the Earth and Saturn or Jupiter, one of them. And that's how big it is. Isn't that fantastic? Anyway, but it's so far away. It takes 600 years for the light to get here, and it's about to explode. It's a super star or something. Anyway, so it could have already exploded sometime in the last 600 years, and we won't know. And of course, when it does explode, or when we see that it has exploded, it will appear as big as the moon. And every street corner will have people with aluminum foil hats on, of course. That was really cool. I am so glad I got that experience. My memory is so bad now that I don't know if I ever saw stuff through an observatory before. I did, yes. I went to a planetarium. I remember being in a dark room and looking through a telescope. Yes, that must have been on my mother's building at the University of Georgia. And if you've been there to watch the Olympics, it was the building right beside that, right beside the stadium. There's the geology, and something, and then physics and astronomy is right next to it. My dad was in one and my mother was in the other. So today we went and saw a pineapple farm, and we learned all about pineapples, and I took a lot of videos for you, which I think I may have already uploaded. No, I guess I haven't. I'll have to upload those, and then you'll see them too. Anyway, it was really nice talking to you. It's really nice to tell you all these things. And I'll put that picture of the moon on so you can see it. It'll be my thumbnail. I guess I've been yawning a lot today. I guess I'm a little tireder than I was. It's been another wonderful day. I went out this morning and I sat by the ocean, and then at 7 or 7:15 or something, I went and did the yoga, and then I guess I went up here and had breakfast with the family. And then afterwards I went back and swam for an hour or half an hour, did laps. I thought it would be good not to be in the sun for more than 15 minutes, so I swam partly in the sun, then partly in the cave. It's amazing to have a cave. And then we went to this pineapple farm, and we had a tour of the pineapple fields. It was fascinating, and I made a lot of little videos and long videos, but it was all interesting, and every one of them if I could edit, I could probably edit out a lot of crap, but it was, I don't know how to edit. I don't have to figure out what the program is I need to use or something like that. Anyway. And they gave us each a pineapple. And then afterwards, we had this stuff. It was, what they did is they took out the middle of the pineapple. I bought one of these corers for coring and slicing the pineapple. And then they took it and they ground it up in They ground it up in a blender, just the pineapple, and froze it. And so it was like sherbet. And they had 3 of those scoops in there, and then they put a few half pineapple slices on top. And the coconut shell had been frozen, so it was ice cold, and so it kept freezing the pineapple. As the pineapple would melt from being in the little balls in the heat, it would melt and it would lay flat and then it would freeze solid. It was very interesting. That is a pineapple, I don't remember, started with an S. Soft something. And yesterday we had this, you take a banana and you put it on a stick and you freeze it. And then you dip it in melted chocolate, dark chocolate, and then you roll it in macadamia nuts, crushed macadamia nuts. That was so good. I love that. I used to always freeze bananas for my kids, you know. The freezer was always full of frozen bananas. And the kids would take them out and I would get them. I had a whole bunch of washcloths I used for everything. And so they would wrap it up in a washcloth and they would walk around the house eating it like a popsicle with one hand and holding their head with the other hand. Those were the days. Can't believe I'm 67. That's a lot of years, isn't it? I'm almost 70. Oh well. But I figured out how to make a nice grass hut, a little circular, you know, one of those little things they've got here. Could use cattails and use them lengthwise, the whole length, and lay them all the way around. That would be the way to do it. And then the top has 2 layers that are circles that they come up and they fold and go back. And there's 2 of those layers which close in the top. So I'm going to make an improvement on my cattail. What are they called? That it's like you take the umbrella once the cloth is no good anymore. You use that, but I think you'd have to first use willow and make some rings that it would hold on to. I tried weaving it with cattails, and it took a lot of cattails, and I never did finish it. It was a lot of cattails. It was hard work. Okay, well, I'll let you go to bed. I know it's past your bedtime. It's 9:15 here or something. So 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, so it's 2:15 there. So I understand why there's only been one person. So if you like my videos, share them. If it makes you smile, it'll make someone else smile. If you don't bother. Okay, love you guys. Bye.